right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Temperatures this afternoon, even a little bit below average as we stayed away from 90 degrees, but we won't do that on Sunday. How long we stay with that heat, and we'll also track our next rain chance.
A march for reparations in the city of Champions.
This is about systems. These are inequitable systems and outdated systems.
Why organizers say the East St. Louis race riots are still impacting the Metro East community decades later. Our top story tonight, another night of violence in the streets of downtown St. Louis. New reaction after police break up another massive gathering of teens.
The city was not prepared to handle it, and that was the main frustrations from a lot of the downtown residents.
Good evening, I'm Diamond Palmer. Brent Solomon is off tonight. A violent 4th of July weekend continued overnight in downtown St. Louis. Police say 3 teens were arrested near City Garden just a day after 7 people were shot in the same location. Our Annie Krall joins us live in downtown St. Louis with new reaction to the latest round of gun violence.
Diamond, as you can hear right behind me, the streets of downtown St. Louis are rocking, and yes, packed with fans of the classic rock bands Def Leppard and Journey. But this is all coming just hours after police had to break up another massive gathering of young people for the second night in a row. It happened again near Chestnut and 8th Street. A day after 7 people were shot downtown following 4th of July fireworks. Officers responding to a number of young adults blocking traffic and brandishing firearms at the same area. St. Louis Metro Police say 2 weapons were seized from an 18-year-old Belleville man and an 18-year-old from Hazelwood, both taken into custody, along with a 17-year-old armed with an airsoft gun. He was later turned over to his mother, frustrating people who live nearby like Dan Pistor with the St. Louis Downtown Neighborhood Association.
We weren't prepared for what happened after the fireworks. We weren't prepared to disperse the crowd, and we allowed large gatherings of kids to shoot fireworks at people intending to do harm.
Pistor remembers a similarly violent holiday weekend last year.
It would have been nice if we didn't have the police numbers, that we could have contracted with some of the outer line cities and counties to see if we can supplement more of a force to disperse the crowd.
While the question remains for Pistor whether or not to bring in the National Guard or state troopers to help an understaffed police department, officers were on scene Saturday night for the Def Leppard, Journey, and Cheap Trick concert at Busch Stadium. Pistor attended along with some fans visiting St. Louis for the first time.
They are huge names, and they're from our high school and college years, and we know all the words to all the songs.
I actually listened to the CD on the way down so that I could sing the songs and remember the words.
Oh my God. I've been listening to Def Leppard, Journey, stuff all growing up, so it was a good opportunity. I'm about to go off to college, so this is kind of a last experience with my family before I leave them.
Off in the distance, the shot and boarded up windows of the last 2 days, not worrying concert goers.
We're from the Chicago area, okay? No worries. Been there, done that. No worries at all.
We're not concerned.
No.
We feel comfortable for sure.
For sure. I feel like we're safe here at the stadium.
The Neighborhood Association is hosting a public town hall meeting on Monday night at 6 o'clock. They'll be talking about this week's gun violence at Central Public Library, including appearances by Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore and St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
Thank you so much, Annie. And tonight we're working to learn more about a possible shooting in downtown St. Louis. It happened around 5 o'clock at 15th and Market Street. While police have not told us anything about the incident, an area across the street from the Stiefel Theater was blocked off with police tape. We'll keep you updated as the investigation continues. And Alton police say a shooting that left a teen injured was sparked by a fight involving fireworks. It happened last night around 9:30 on Fletcher Street. First responders found the 14-year-old victim and took him to the Alton Memorial Hospital. Investigators say he and other kids were shooting fireworks at each other, which escalated with gunshots being fired. The victim is expected to be okay. And now to flooding concerns in St. Charles County. The Rivers Point Fire Protection District warning drivers of high water near the Mississippi River. Right now, water is running over Highway 94 at Harbor Point and surrounding streets. Drivers are asked to use road detours to bypass the flooding. And if barricades are in place, local authorities want to remind you it's illegal to drive around them. And turning now to your weather impact forecast with a live look here over downtown. Dry with typical summer-like conditions and temperatures. Meteorologist Gary Frank joins us now with a preview of your next weather maker.
Yeah, as we look outside right now, it's pretty quiet. As we, for the most part, though, it's been a nice day. Less humidity, pretty typical day as we look downtown. Wind still not moving a lot, and that was the same thing as we had earlier. Temperature still at 81. The wind is calm. Our dew point at 62. That hasn't changed, and that's not really going to change tomorrow. But what you'll notice is it's a little warmer, and that's going to continue to be the case into the overnight hours. Even as we look in the city, temperatures in the mid to upper 80 or upper 70s. Outside of the city, a little cooler, but not much. You're not going to drop quite as much as you did last night, so that's a main difference for us. As we look at this cloud cover and rain, that's our only maybe wrinkle in the forecast for tomorrow. Now, clouds will increase, but generally we're still in control from high pressure, and high pressure is going to help keep us warmed up. That will essentially shred this as it gets closer. However, it's still something to note because I think some areas in central Missouri and some of our western counties may deal with it. Just kind of look at some of these areas that popped up and kind of fell apart. That will share the same fate into this evening. Temps eventually into the upper 60s, but over the next few days it is heating up. We do see impacts from Beryl, and that's, I think, what's going to be kind of sneaking up on us. I want to detail the track and why things are changing and what we can expect the rest of the week.
Thank you so much, Gary. And hours ago, dozens of people marched together in East St. Louis to bring light to both historical and recent injustice. Today's march was done in memory of the 1917 East St. Louis massacre. Hundreds of black residents were murdered by a racist white mob that destroyed the town. Many participants were inspired to march after noticing the disparities between East St. Louis and other towns in St. Clair County.
We're out here to uplift the call for justice, to uplift the fact that we need resources given to East St. Louis and that we need reparations for the years and decades of systemic racism that we have faced that has held us down and kept us economically oppressed for decades.
The African Descent Citizens Reparations Commission will meet at the East St. Louis High School Auditorium on August 10th from 10 until noon, and they hope that people can come together to understand the historical significance of inequalities in the area. And construction is expected to begin later this year on a new trail that'll connect City Park to Midtown. According to our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal, the project could begin as early as September, and it's expected to take about a year and a half to complete. Now, this is a part of the Brookline Greenway project that's adding 10 miles of trails across the city. And a beloved pizza restaurant is shutting its doors in the Central West End. Pie Pizzeria says it's closing its doors for good tomorrow. Upon hearing the news, people had to wait up to 2 hours tonight. The North Euclid location is the franchise's only spot in the Lou, and the restaurant previously had locations in downtown, the Delmar Loop, Kirkwood, and even Washington, D.C. The St. Louis Zoo recently welcomed some new members to their mongoose family. Here's a look at the 3 dwarf mongoose pups born in May. Now they're old enough to start exploring their habitat and play. Their species is the smallest carnivore in Africa. And when they're all grown up, these pups will only weigh about a pound. And you can see the whole family at River's Edge now.
The scorching sun can ruin your summertime fun. We dive into the best ways to soothe a sunburn. Bracing for Beryl. Texas prepares for the storm to make landfall. How Missouri is lending a helping hand.
Well, we haven't talked about the now tropical storm Beryl too much because it hadn't been impacting us, but that may change. Where the track of this is headed and why it may impact the St. Louis area